Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I'm playing with my Christmas paper and I thought I would just bring you on. So this paper came from the set Sentimental Christmas, and that's what I'm playing with right now. I have all these punch outs from, I had shown a shopping earlier, I can't remember what sets they came from, but it came with paper that had punch outs and stuff like that. So I decided I'm going to play some more with Christmas paper. And in the punch outs, they have these sentiments that I haven't used yet. And so I know I'm going to put those on there. And what I did is I cut these 4 by 5 1/4. I decided what, because this goes all the way around the border. And so I cut them how I want them. And then I'm going to also do some gold heat embossing on these 3 here with sentiments. And I think I'm going to do these 2 with the Comfort and Joy. And that comes from this Hope and Peace set. I don't know if that's still available, but I'm going to use those sentiments for that one. And I just didn't like it on this one. So I'm going to use Merry Christmas on this one. And I think that obviously we could put embellishments on there. I may. One of the colors in the set is Old Olive, and I just thought these would look really, really good with those on the cards. And just having that sentiment on there. And maybe that's it. I don't know. We'll see when we get it all together. So to start with, let's go ahead and get these glued on here. So yeah, so I thought I would just turn on the camera and we'll craft some cards, and I'll just leave it on till I know I can't do any more because my phone won't want to, or I won't be able to upload it. Kind of what I'm trying to do is go through some of my paper. I've got such a stash of paper. Christmas paper, not so much. I go through that fairly quickly, but the other paper I don't. So I don't know. This will probably be just a Christmas video, but I will be getting to other paper packs and using some sketches. And I am trying to figure out how I want to do the sketches that are in the catalogs. Because it's nice when you have just paper, sometimes it's nice just to have the sketches, just to sit down and make cards, just the paper and the sketches as inspiration, or to use totally. Sometimes I use them exactly as they are, and then sometimes I switch it up and change it up a little bit, depending on how I feel like it needs to look. Okay, let's make sure that's on there good. So when I go to heat emboss the sentiments on the other ones, I will probably stop the video. So I haven't taken the time to figure out how I can make the video go fast during that time. And I'll heat emboss it. I'll go through the first step of the first one again. But I'll probably stop it and then come back. Okay, I'm just going to set a block on this here just to kind of get it to stay down. It's probably good. It's cute. Merry Christmas. I like that. So I'll set that one aside. We'll get this one on. Season's greetings. Sometimes just a simple card is all you need. Now, I love to make cards, so I make a lot of cards. I do have a very small card ministry, and I am slowly trying to grow that. So I may have more places for my cards to go. But during Christmas, I make a lot, so I do sell them at the bazaars. I don't sell a ton of cards, but it allows me to make some, and then obviously I send a bunch out. Okay, so that looks good. So I'm just going to kind of put that. See how that looks. That looks good to me. Oops, that twisted a little bit. just something simple like that. Some really pretty paper with some pretty greetings. We've got that one. And this joy one, I'm going to kind of go off like that off to the side. I think that's kind of cool looking. And sometimes in your paper packs, you can get these sheets of paper that's probably meant for scrapbooking, but if you reconfigure it into a card, you can get some really pretty, very simple cards just by cutting it. These are cut 4 by 5 1/4, and then my mats are 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and then I'll just put them on a white card base. Okay, so I'm going to put this here for now. And I will go ahead and get these mounted on cards before we start that process. That way that's done. And then once we're done with all of this process, then I will see if I want to add any embellishments to it, additional embellishments. I love this paper pack because it gives me kind of a vintagey vibe, and I love the vintage. Okay, get that. That one is on its mat. What I'm wanting to do is use more of these punch outs here that I have and really work through those. I've done quite a few cards with what I had gotten, and I know I was going to do a video, but I just did not get around to it. So we're doing a video on some of it. Okay, there's that one, and then this one here. There, and then we'll go ahead and put this in there for a minute. Get my card bases out here. My favorite orientation of cards is to score it at 5 1/2 and cut along the 4 1/4, because I really think about displays. So there's two different types. There's this kind and this kind, but I like my cards this way. This is how I generally make them. So if they're gonna open this way, then I like to put them on this type of card. That's just my preference. So I usually have two different versions of the card folds you could do from a sheet. But my favorite is this way. Because I think about how cards are going to display, if people are going to hang them or set them, how they best would show the card front and the decoration and greeting you have put on the card front. So that's kind of how I base when I do my cards, how I base which orientation they're going to be in. I think that's just super pretty the way it is. The only thing I would do, and I don't think I have any more, I'm going to check really quick, is Week of Stella. I would definitely do Week of Stella on here. Oh, maybe I do have a little bit. Let me see. Have a Week of Stella pen here. I haven't ordered any in a while. I have a tiny bit. I might have enough to do some, because I would maybe glitter that up a little bit just to add some bling. I don't know, with me, Christmas is blingy for me. That's what I think of it. like a little bling on my Christmas cards, or the vintage look. Okay, there's that one. Okay, so those 3 cards essentially are done. You don't really need to do anything else to them if you don't want. I think they're beautiful just the way they are. I may add more to them, but for right now, those are done. So we can get started on this heat embossing. So I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus. You can use whatever platform you have for heat embossing. When you have a platform for stamping or heat embossing, if you have the photopolymer stamps, the clear ones that you can see through, you're going to need foam under it when you do it. When you have the red rubber stamps, you don't need that. So what I'm going to do, I could do it this way. Does this look right to me? I feel like that should be hanging. I'm deciding which way it should go because it went around all the way around, so it probably doesn't really matter. But I like that Merry Christmas up there, so I'm going to do that and try to get it straight. I'm just going to check my grid lines, make sure my Merry Christmas is somewhat straight, and it looks good. So I'm going to get my stuff back out here that I had from the other time. And I'm looking for gold. This is the gold one. So I am going to need my Versamark ink. I have my gold here. Make sure that's still where I want it. Get everything off of here. That looks good. All right, so I'm going to plug my heat emboss tool in. Okay, and we're ready. All right, so I'm just going to get my Versamark. Well, one thing I want to do first is make sure I get this on there. This helps with any oily marks that may have been left by fingers, but also it's kind of staticky. The embossing, what is this called? Embossing powder is kind of staticky, so it can stick to other places that you didn't have Versamark. You can brush it off with your brush, but just to get it so it's not so hard to so it's not so hard to get, try to get this moved up. I think my phone holder is wearing out because my phone slowly droops. Okay, so I'm just going to put some Versamark here on this sentiment. Now again, I still don't have refill for it, which when I do my next order, which I'm not doing for a little while, I will get a refill on this. So this is going to take me a few tries. If this pad was juicier, it'd probably be the first try. I've never refilled this, and I've had it for a little while. I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, that should be good. So now I'm going to remove this so I can clean it here in just a minute and get the gold on this piece here. Make sure I don't have anywhere I don't want it. Okay, so now, oh, I think I want a little bit more right there. Move that aside. I'm going to turn on my heat emboss tool and let it heat up for a minute. This is big enough I don't really need the tweezers, but so I'm going to take it off to the side here and just, well, you might want to watch it here. So just putting it at an angle. It's a thinner paper, so it's going to curl. I'm going to try to heat it from behind so this will go faster, but it goes really, really fast once it's heated up. You just want to make sure you get it all. Oh, I love that. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't know if you can see that. Look at how pretty that is. So pretty on that. Okay, so that one's done. We're going to let that cool. Now I'm going to clean up the one I just used because the other two are going to use Tidings of Comfort and Joy. Alright, so and I'm probably going to have to move that sentiment because it is going to be in two different, paper is going to be oriented different. Put that back in there so I don't lose it. Now we'll get this set. So I know I want this way. Just doing that gold embossing just adds a little bit of extra, I think, and sometimes you just don't need anything when you have that. That looks good there to me. Okay. I sometimes would just like an Versamark pen so that I could maybe do lines across, like with a ruler, just draw a straight line and then put some of that gold or silver, whatever color I want to, that I have that I want to use, so I could do lines across the bottom of a card or something like that. I think that would be really cool. Let's do one more time here. What I'm going to do here in this case is I'm just going to go ahead and get the gold on there, and then I'm going to wait until I have both done before I heat emboss them. That looks good. Okay, we'll go to our next one here, and I know this one I want on the bottom. Yeah, my pad is really, really dry. I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to do, because I've been really enjoying. Okay, that should be okay. Let's see. So let's get the gold on this. I've been really enjoying the heat embossing. I don't do it often. I should do it more often because I really like it. That looks good. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. And get these two done. Okay, those are all done. I don't foresee needing any more of this at the moment. This dryer. So I'm going to let those cool, and we're going to go ahead. I'm going to get this, because clumsy me, I will probably spill it. So I'm going to get this in here. My dad's Christmas song playing in my head. Gonna have to listen to it later. All right, now everything is put away so I don't lose anything, because that's me, I'll lose it. And we can get these cards put back together. Okay, there we go, that's out of the way. Now let's get these mounted on their pieces. And sometimes if your blade is dull, you end up with these little rough edges. You can just clip them away, or if you have somewhere not within reach, you can use a nail file or whatever. My friend got me these little filers. Oh, here they are. My friend got me some of these that I could also use to get all those rough edges off, which is super awesome. That one's matted. This one needs a little bit more heat. I missed a spot on there. I'll let that cool a minute. Let's check this one. That one's fine. You can shine it in the light. You can tell because it's not shiny. And then you can kind of see the granules in the spots where it's not shiny, where it may not have melted. Now, when you do it on this DSP, I'm noticing I've not ever done it on the DSP. I usually do it on the cardstock. It does warp it a little bit, so you need to make sure you've got yourself glued down or you'll have bubbles on the card. So it does take a little bit more just because you can see this is not straight. I can probably straighten it doing that. Let's run it on the paper table edge. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So that one's mounted, and then we'll get this one. Okay, so now we'll get them on our card bases here. Need 3 of them. Sometimes it's always good to check too to make sure they fit right, because sometimes I cut them a little long and then they look kind of wonky on the card. Okay, so just like that, with one piece of paper that you would probably typically use for scrapbooking, that's a big 12 by 12 with a framed photo around it. You've got 6 beautiful cards with just the smallest amount of embellishment. So here's what we've got from that one 12 by 12. So we've got one that says Merry Christmas, 2 that say Tidings of Comfort and Joy, and then we've used some of those pop-out gold sentiments that are in the kit over there. So I think those are really, really cute. So just a quick, simple card. Just when you have a big 12 by 12 that it's a big picture, typically for scrapbooking, you can cut it down to make some really simple and stunning cards. All right. So I think that's it for this video. I'm going to be crafting the day, so I'll just make videos throughout the day. But thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this inspires you just to create some simple cards from those big pages you're not really sure what to do with, and see what you can come up with. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next one.